Well, Guy, let's jump right into this, man. So we got your mic. Oh, right there, right in front of you.
Oh, I was like, okay.
I was, make sure you got one for you.
There's it. Oh, okay. Well, thank you again, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And we have like so many cameras going on, and
I
I was
know.
able to set up my live for people in Brazil and stuff. I had a lot of friends saying, "Yai, hello, whatever." We're here.
Right. So we have a segment on our show called "Growing Up Geeky." Okay. What did you geek out on when you were a kid?
So I grew up watching the original X-Men series. I was a big fan of Wolverine, so that was a big one.
Cow Dodd.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I grew up. See, the thing is, unfortunately, I grew up in Brazil.
In Brazil. Yeah.
Dubbed, right? So I never heard any of the iconic voices. It was always the Brazilian, dub artists and,
Right.
and voice actors. Spider-Man, was a big fan of Spider-Man. Batman. Not so much of Superman, but Batman I liked a lot. And then like He-Man, Captain Planet.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, which is funny, I always tell this story, here in America, it wasn't that popular or big. Some people know it, but there's a big anime that was huge in Brazil and South America called the Zodiac Knights. Cavaleiros dos Zodíacos, for everybody in Brazil who...
So I know the Zodiac Knights.
You do?
But the only reason I know the Zodiac Knights is because I'm Central American, right? So
That's why.
Yeah, I'm Nicaraguan.
Oh, wow. You were born and raised in
No, I'm born and raised here,
Here, but-
but I would visit family, and
they were obsessed.
and my cousins were obsessed with it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And people are obsessed with that. I mean,
That and Dragon Ball, but I mean, like they were
Dragon
yeah.
Ball too, and then like Pokemon. I mean, all of those I was
Right.
a big fan until my early teens when I switched to wanted to become a professional tennis player, and then my life became all about tennis and being an athlete and all that, and I kind of veered off quickly from all that jazz.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of did the same thing when I was a teenager because it was kind of, it became like more of an under thing. It's like I focused on football, I focused on boxing, I focused on sports.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I was hiding the fact that I was going home and reading comic books and watching anime and things like that. I was still doing that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But like to my friends, it's like, no, football, baseball, that's sports, boxing, like, those are the things that I'm into. And then when nobody's around, like, all right, cool, I'm going to read this Deadpool comic book. Let me go watch Dragon Ball Z. Oh, no, I can't miss the episode.
Right,
So it's like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was more. I became more into the live-action movies. When they started to come out and stuff. Obviously the X-Men, and then, the Ninja Turtles. Also, like playing video games and all that stuff. But I unfortunately did not grow up reading comics, and not a big reader from an early age. My mom tried. They all tried to like get me to read stuff, but I was so I had too much energy, as a kid. So it was always about sports. I wanted moving, and soap operas. Brazil is huge in soap operas. We were considered to have the best soap operas in the world, and so I was obsessed with them. I would watch. They started like at 5:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. and I watched every single one of them back to back. So that's all I wanted to do, and eat cookies.
So, kind of growing up and watching your shows and everything like that, at what point did you kind of realize you wanted to get into acting?
Yeah, so it happened by chance, just as voice acting kind of happened by chance.
So you
Like, just asked me. Yeah, so I was in Venezuela training. My tennis coach, who changed my life, I met there, and I lived there for almost 2 years. And I had gotten already a scholarship to come to the U.S. and play tennis for a university in South Carolina, a small town called Greenwood.
Okay.
And I started modeling the last 6 months that I was there. About 4 months before I was leaving to come to the U.S., I started modeling, and modeling took me to a audition for a Subway commercial, because I was booking print commercials for campaigns and photos. So I came to the audition, I smiled, they booked me, I made money, I was so happy. But commercials paid more, and so I wanted to book them, and I had an awful experience. I had never acted in my life. I had to improvise, and it was so bad. It was so embarrassing. So I asked my agent to recommend me an acting coach, and then I went to this woman, Matilda Corral, who studied at the Actors Studio in New York City, taught the method, and I begged her. She didn't want to take me because she only worked with professional actors. I begged her to let me be part of it, and I was like, I'm so serious, I'm so dedicated. She knew what my thing was going to be for only a couple of months. But she did that, and that's when I fell in love with acting. I read my first Shakespeare plays. I love poetry,
Wow.
so I loved reading those, all in Spanish. So I started in Spanish, and when I came to the U.S., that school, fortunately, because they don't have it anymore, had a theater program. And I remember walking in. I was a business major, and I walked into the auditorium, beautiful auditorium, 500 seats. I'm like, I want to be on that stage, like internally. I had no clue like how. And then I found out that to be able to be part of the acting class, I had to minor in theater, which I did. And I started taking the acting classes, and then I did my very first audition ever. I didn't know what audition meant. I almost missed it. It wasn't like required from the course, and I almost missed it. I showed up, and I had to read sides, cold reading. English wasn't as easy, or not easy. It's still not easy, but it wasn't as good as I can speak it now, and especially read it off the page. I did whatever I did, and clearly I fit the character. And Monique Bagwell, this incredible teacher, saw something in me, and also I guess my physique helped at the time. And I was cast as the lead role of Hal in Picnic by William Inge, which was a movie starred by William Holden in the 50s.
Right.
And that's how it began.
Ah, it's amazing, man. It's just like
Long story.
But I mean, that trajectory is amazing, because it's kind of like, you start in Brazil, you make your way to Argentina, Venezuela. Sorry, you make your way.
My mom is Argentinian.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm not fully Brazilian. I was born in Brazil, but my blood is half Argentinian, half Peruvian. And for those soccer fans, I am going so against Argentina.
Oh man, and I know you're multilingual, right? Like obviously English, Portuguese, but then also Spanish, right? And I mean
French. I can speak French. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you speak so many languages. Has that opened doors to you that maybe may not have existed otherwise?
I mean, I think I'm only here today with the career that I have, the things that I've been very fortunate to be part of because of that. Number one, Spanish, because yes, I grew up speaking Spanish, but I had a Brazilian accent. I grew up going to Argentina. I could speak and understand it, but I wasn't native. And until I moved to Venezuela and lived there, that's when I really acquired a native Spanish fluency, which then was, it was key for me to be able to work professionally in Miami. I stayed in that college for a year, and then I moved to Miami. And Miami was super hot in terms of production, TV productions, a lot of Spanish productions and whatnot. And so I had my start in soap operas, and then I was part of 2 Nickelodeon shows. I had my, biggest roles there, and then I did a YouTube, at the time YouTube was just beginning, and I was the host of this YouTube channel thing. And all because I was now speaking natively Spanish.
Yeah.
However, I had to change my accent because I spoke with a very thick Venezuelan accent. And the neutral accent in America is more towards Mexican accent.
Right.
So I had to learn that and do that.
It's funny, like language-wise, how much people don't realize. One, Portuguese and Spanish are very different.
Yes,
like
similar
Portuguese
but very different.
Right, like Portuguese is closer to Italian than it is Spanish.
Oh, interesting.
And the thing is like, it's all Latin-based, but I remember multiple situations in my previous job where they would be like, hey, we need somebody who can translate in Spanish, and then they would come and speak Portuguese to me, and like, guys, not the same language.
No, yeah.
Not the same language.
Not at all.
Like a lot of the words are different, guys. This is not going to work out. And then it turned out half the time they spoke Spanish. So, but then like the accent is very different. So there's a very more stop accent with Portuguese.
And Brazilian Portuguese obviously is very different from Portugal.
Yeah.
And in Brazil, just like in the U.S., it's such a big country, we have 5 to 6 different very pronounced accents, right? Just like you have Southern here, New York, or whatever.
And Spanish is the same way. Like usually we can tell what country you're from by the way you speak Spanish.
Yes, and within those countries, I'm sure there's also variety, right? But maybe not as big as we have because of the diversity and the scope of the country itself.
Right.
But like going back to like, you said acting, so that was the story about me getting into acting. But then voice acting, very similarly by chance, some people have asked me here and multiple other times, my love was always for films. And when I started, I wanted to be, and be in films and create films. And then TV became such a big thing, but it was always like live action on camera. I started doing voiceover commercials because I spoke different languages, Spanish in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until I moved after the pandemic to Los Angeles, my agency it was pretty as much bigger into the animation world and video game in Los Angeles. And then I started to audition without having asked for it. You know, I had no conscious desire to be a part of it. I had never been to a Comic-Con before in my life. I had heard of San Diego Comic-Con. I had never been to one, and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And so I started auditioning. I thought it was fun. I was cast in Spidey and His Amazing Friends. I think I recorded that before I got, you know, X-Men 97. But quickly after, about the same time, I was then cast in X-Men, and then I started recording. But it wasn't until it came out in 24 that I understood the scope of what this is and has been, and what Comic-Con meant, what it meant to the fans, it's been crazy.
Right, but then also just kind of like the splash your character made, man. Because I mean, Sunspot is like for comic fans, we know Sunspot, right? Like Sunspot's been a character kind of like deeply involved in some of the bigger plot lines and some of the storylines. But seeing him come like in animated form, come on the screen, the relationship you've built with Jubilee, and then just being a standout in season 1, season 2. You kind of like blew up even more, metaphorically in season 2, right? Like metaphorically, that's what Sunspot does. But I mean, like,
that is so true. I mean, every time I've been so happily surprised, and I hear that from the legacy cast as well. When they started it, nobody knew what this was going to be like, and then even for them back in the day, there was no internet. They didn't know the show was so beloved worldwide until years later with the con, right?
Right.
But being so happily surprised about how people responded to season 1, and then Roberto Sunspot, which also very shamefully so, I say, I did not know him because I was not a comic book reader, so I didn't even know his existence was in play,
Yeah. And I assume that when you said you didn't read a lot of comics, so I was like, he probably didn't know who Sunspot was before.
No.
Yeah.
Even though,
but like, you're an actor, so you're going to embody the character either way.
Well, yes, absolutely. And when I was auditioning for it, I didn't know it was him. And even if it said Roberto da Costa, I would have known, right? So it doesn't matter. But he was
a Brazilian actor. He's going to play the Brazilian character.
Yeah. Well, I like to believe it's a little more than that, but yes.
No, that's just a joke.
No. But even like X-Men of Evolution, which I learned then after, was huge in South America as well. Not as much here, and that was his first appearance in the television world.
Right. What's crazy is Evolution was so much bigger in Central and South America than it was in the U.S.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was massive.
Massive. When I went to the Comic-Con in Brazil, CCXP, that's what, like, all the youngsters, they know Sunspot because of Evolution.
Right.
So, and I mean, I was in Brazil at that time, but see, I wasn't already. I was so into tennis and being an athlete. I stopped watching stuff like that.
Right. Because it's kind of like like how my brother did it. He outgrew.
Right. I mean, see, it unfortunately did happen to me, but
I just didn't outgrow it. I embraced it as an adult, whereas my brother's like, no, I stopped reading comics when I was 16.
But it's the thing of like, and I had that. I'm also not super happy to say that, but that we hear, oh, that's for kids, but we know even in the 90s, the X-Men was not just done as a cartoon for kids.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Yeah.
And then now, obviously, the same way. And obviously, the beauty of it is that everybody who loved the X-Men in the 90s, now we're all grown-ass adults, and we still love it. But then the kids are enjoying it and not getting the big themes and stuff that they're talking about, just like we probably didn't at our time, but we enjoyed the action and the characters. And then later on, they're going to, oh, my God, look how, like, deep those those conversations were, the themes were. So it continues to like propel that future generations. It's so wonderful.
Right. Now, not just being a professional tennis player and being an actor, your career's taken so many paths, man. Like, you've worked as an actor, stunt performer, acting double, producer, director. Which role stretches you the most creatively?
Well, I think it'd be like the one that I'm most passionate about, which is to direct and to act. So I'm a filmmaker who have created so far only short films. I've been doing for 10 years, and my big goal and dream is to finally do my first feature film, which I'm working on now, a very personal story. And yeah, I got used to like direct. I mean, I have to produce as well, but you know, just directing and acting is a lot, obviously, for people who do it as well. They know it, but I feel like I excel more that way, especially as an actor. And I think it's because there's so much going on. It's so much energy that it takes. I find it to be that I grow more, you know, out of everything else, you know.
Yeah, and that's always the goal, is to find the growth and find the things you're passionate for.
Absolutely.
And
but then,
do what
like,
you love.
think about this. Like, it was so new to me, voice acting this way. I mean, it's like 2024 continues to be every year, but 2024 specifically, I mean, that was like voiceover school for me in many ways, and like Comic-Cons and understanding how this all works as a business, and then the legends that are part of the show that now I can say some are good friends.
Yeah,
others are
Lenora,
colleagues.
Cal, you know, like everybody that's involved in everything. Yeah,
It's insane the talent, you know, from the legacy cast, but also the people that are my age or even younger and stuff. Like they're just so good. They're just so talented, and I'm like always learning. I'm learning. I'm asking for advice when I can. I keep listening as well, so I can give better advice to those who ask me. You know, it's such a wonderful thing to be part of, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then again, it's learning another part of the craft, right? It's
Yes.
learning something here and just being like, oh
Yes.
man, this is so much more than I thought it was.
Oh yes.
And it's not to say that this is the reasoning, but I mean it is more work, right? It's kind of now you have another feather in the hat. You have more skills that you could, and then that also helps down the line when you're creating your own projects. It's like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe we need to do a voiceover for a character here, and now that you've done voice work, you know what is entailed in that. You know how to write that kind of thing. You know how to adjust on the fly if you need to do things. So I mean, like, yeah, there's a lot of skills that you learn in doing things like that. It's pretty cool.
But even like I would even add that, like, a couple of years ago I created an online company that sells like apparel, hoodies, and T-shirts and stuff. That actually it was not consciously because the show hadn't come out yet, but the symbol is a fire, is a phoenix inside a fire, and it's not because of Sunspot or X-Men, but I swear to God, it just
matched up that way.
It just matched up that way, and then, like, I haven't put in so much energy and effort lately, but it's a passion of mine because I love the brand and what we stand for. And I had this thought recently. I'm like, oh man, eventually when I have more resources and more time, I want to maybe create a comic book create a character for that. So now my brain is going, because I've been meeting so many great artists, I know more about comic books, and then maybe I'll turn into an animated series. I don't know.
Oh, man.
My mind is just going like different directions.
That would be cool. And again, because now it when you have so many, again, feathers under the cap, you're able to kind of think outside the box more, because it's like, oh, but what if I did this? Because you can kind of like think more broadly instead of being something that is just in one wheelhouse.
Correct.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And I'm curious and interested to see what comes from all of that, and see what projects come out here. So kind of jumping back into other things that you do outside of acting. As Theo James' acting double on The Time Traveler's Wife, right? What goes into matching someone else's performance, like going into matching their mannerisms and their movements and everything like that, so you can believably be that person?
Yeah, it was. I mean, that experience was transformative for me. It was, the biggest project on camera I've been part of so far. Even though you don't see me at the final product, I was treated in all areas as one of the series' regular characters in the show, and I was part of it really early on, before most of the cast, because I worked very closely with Theo and then Rose Leslie from Game of Thrones and many other incredible shows, with the legendary director David Nutter. And that was such a star cast. And so I learned so much. And at first, yes, I had to, David would ask me, mimic, copy everything, pay attention to everything. And I'm like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, And But then afterwards, I mean, it just like it takes a lot of like observation. I am really visual. That's why I think also I love directing, because I tend to remember everything, or most of everything, when by seeing stuff. So I think that helped me a lot in the beginning, because I was asked to exactly do that, every single little thing. But eventually it became easier in that way, because I didn't have to do it anymore. But also the challenge was, especially you see me, I like Italians, and we speak with our hands. We have all these things, and we like
Gesticulation.
yeah, we like to move. And then I was asked to, which is part of acting training anyway, to not move anything, just say your lines. And I'm like, there's a lot of stillness, but I had to keep the intention and the tone of what he was doing. But then he didn't want me to move, because I think, again, they're editing me out of shots,
Right.
to put him. And so I think the less strenuous movements, the better for the post-production process.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah.
So, that was fine, but it was a different kind of challenge, and it was just like on the spot, like literally, I don't know, like in the morning he's telling me, yeah, no, remember to do, and then in the afternoon, don't move anything. But it's not like he came up to me and said, hey, Guy, now we're not gonna. It's in the middle of the take. I'm doing what he asked me to do, like, Guy, don't move. I'm like, okay, and then I just realized, okay, from now on we don't move.
Just stand there. Just stand there. Just stand there. So keeping in, we talked about over 10 years of doing shorts and doing short films. Winning over 220 awards is amazing.
Thank you.
Is crazy, man. Has there been one festival moment or audience reaction that stayed with you? Like, that's just something that sticks in your mind?
Well, that's a good question. I was never asked that. Yeah, in particular, those awards mostly have come from one short called "Roses Are Blind," which is based on a true story. That unfortunately I'm no longer part of the feature film, but I won't get into that. But it might have probably been in one of the screenings for that. I can't think of it like closely right now. I mean, I can only think about the most recent ones. I've been in the film circuit for two other shorts, one called To the End, the other one You Were Funny. And it's just so nice when you have like a packed house.
Yeah.
And then you have some comedy going, and then people laugh at the thing that you're supposed to laugh. It's
Right.
also fun when you get laughters where like, why are you guys laughing? It's also interesting. But in particular about To the End, because that was written by Greg Fusco, a good friend of mine, as a dark comedy. It was a play first, and then we adapted into a short film. But it became way more of a drama. We took away a lot of the dark humor, or the humor in it. I mean, we think that there's some humor in it, but with the screenings, most of them were like no laughters or no whatever, right?
Yeah.
No reactions that way. And then when we got, there was a couple of screenings that we had in very particular moments that we wanted the comedy to be more accentuated, and it happened. We were like, yeah, these people get it.
They understand us.
Yes.
We need more people like them.
Yes. So that was very rewarding.
Yeah. So between tennis, snowboarding, surfing, filmmaking, and acting, do you ever sleep?
Wow, this guy did his research. I am doing so much better at that. This year, I finally understood that there's no better remedy than sleeping, and that is my number one priority. I am doing my best. It's hard. I mean, my body needs a lot of sleep, actually.
You need rest, man.
You
need rest as much as you need the movement.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, I actually enjoy sleeping a lot. It's just that, yeah, it's hard to get, but I'm not. I cannot operate on. I mean, I'm so jealous of people who can operate with 5 hours sleep, even 6. I can do it a couple times. Some people do 3 or 4. I mean, imagine, that would be a dream.
That's us right now.
There you go. See, I mean, we can all do it for 1 or 2 days, but some people are consistently that way. You know,
Yeah.
Even for me going over in 2 weeks or a week and a half, I'll be in San Diego Comic-Con. That is the craziest con of the year, right? And I've been lucky to be part of it the last 2 years, and this is gonna be my 3rd year. And it's just like it's a long con. There's a lot of parties. There's a lot of things. It never, it's a consistent movement, and it ends super late, and so it's not a lot of sleep. And there's a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people also get sick afterwards.
Yeah.
And the goal is
especially right now, promo runs because you guys are right in the middle of the season. So I mean, like, yeah,
that too, just like in 24 with season 1.
yeah,
But we weren't exact. We had already screened all the episodes, but it was a big hype, you know.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a challenge, but I prepare myself differently now when I know it's going to be a crazy 3, 4, 5 days. I've learned my lesson because I unfortunately tend to get sick after stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. So outside of the work that you do, because I've been talking a lot about your work here, you also co-founded Impacto.
Yes,
Right.
that was the company I was mentioning earlier. It's called
Right.
Impacto, and that's what I eventually maybe want to turn into something more with the animated world or comic.
Right. That supports the Midnight Mission, everything that you have going
Yeah,
on there.
Midnight Mission is a wonderful organization in Los Angeles. They help the homeless, and I've volunteered there a few times. And when we chose to create this brand with one of my best friends, I was like, why don't we reach out to them and not necessarily partner up with them, but I let them know that we would love to be donating a part of our proceeds or net profit to them, and they were super obviously thankful and helpful. So that's part of why I also eventually I want to grow the community. It's very tiny, I had wonderful supporters, online, especially in 2023, 24 when I was really heavily promoting it and whatnot. And then my life unfortunately had to take a shift last year, and I haven't been able to go back into it. But a big reason is that I want to be able to, create more change by donating more. So the more profit we make, the more we can help, and the snowball continues that way.
Right. And that's amazing, man. It's giving back to the community and choosing to empower the community and being a part of the community is a very noble thing. So as a human to a human, I dude, thank you.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
I
absolutely,
appreciate
man.
it. Thank you.
So let's kind of go back into X-Men 97 a little bit here.
Yeah.
All right. So we already talked about you didn't know a lot of comics when you didn't read the comics a lot, but you were aware of the animated series. So kind of being a fan of the original series, when you got the call that you were going to be Sunspot, or that you got a role on X-Men on the new revival X-Men series, what was your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, so it was not a call, it was an email. And I was actually in New York. I already had moved to Los Angeles, and I was back in New York staying with a friend because I was doing motion capture for a video game. I think that was probably GTA 5.
Okay.
I did motion capture for Red Dead Redemption 2, but I think at the time, I don't know, it was one or the other. That was probably GTA because it's much more recent. So I received the news via email early in the morning before I went to set. And no, maybe it was the afternoon, and then my friend was still there, and I was like, obviously, it said, congratulations, you're going to be a superhero. And I was
What a way to start the email. You're going to be a superhero.
Right. And
what?
I was like, what? What did I audition for? I don't remember any superhero.
That's the thought I think of. Is like, I don't remember auditioning for a superhero.
No.
Yeah.
And so but immediately like, oh my God, this is cool. And then I continue reading for X-Men 97. And I was like, X-Men, I know the X-Men, 97, what does that mean? So then I kept reading, and I got my contract and all of that. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And not that it explained what 97 was, but I had to look it up, and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, who is Sunspot?
Right.
And then that's when my research started, and
Did you go and read comics after that to kind of like figure out?
I first looked at everything I could find on the internet. So YouTube, I was sent a link by Marvel of the Marvel database. So I based all my information on that first, and then watched every single clip there was at the time from the movies, and that's when I found out about X-Men Evolution. And then I was sent comic books by the production. Rewatched, didn't go rewatch the entire, original X-Men series, but I watched a lot of clips, a lot of things and summaries and whatnot, because I knew it was going to be a straight up continuation.
Yeah. Did they send you like specific runs that were like, hey, this is the run that we're basing Sunspot on? Is this particular run?
The production and at the time the showrunner Bill DeMaio, he sent me several issues of the New Mutants. And so I think that's kind of like he wanted me to get a little bit of the humor and I guess that the idea closer to that, the arrogance but the humor at the same time. That's when I've said this a few times. One of my favorite scenes is between Sunspot and Deathbird in one of the New Mutants editions. It's so funny.
Deathbird.
Yeah, it's so funny, and I was like, oh my god, it'd be so nice if they had something. And I did not know, because Sunspot was not in that episode, that Deathbird was going to have an appearance in season 1.
Yeah.
And I was super happy when that happened, you know. And who knows? People have asked me a couple times, you know, if there's something that you wish could happen. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if there was an interaction between Sunspot and Deathbird based from the New Mutants, and you know, and we'll see, you know.
Yeah. No spoilers, because I don't want you to get in trouble. But I mean, like, cause we still have a whole season going on right now.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, my whole thing is with what has been revealed this season. We've got X-Force in this. We've got X Factor coming in. It'd be nice to see a New Mutants team pop up in there, right?
Yeah.
Considering that, like, we have introduced some of the characters from New Mutants, and having them come together as a team would be cool. Again, no spoilers. Don't say anything if you know anything.
I cannot say anything.
Yeah. Last thing I want is for you to get in trouble, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the fans love Cannonball. People ask me all the time,
Yeah.
and you know, obviously Magic, and so it's just that'd be very cool.
Yeah,
you know?
and they're tied in heavily with the comic book version of the Civil War. So it's like, you know, they're kind of like they were the inciting incident that caused Civil War to be what it was.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, Cannonball basically blows up a kid's like a kids park.
A kids park.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they were like filming like social media videos.
Oh my god.
And that caused the government to enact the Superhuman Registration Act.
Oh my god.
Because they were like, we need to be able to track these people, because this guy just like used the superpower to accidentally kill a bunch of people.
So that's kind of new, like a recent.
This was
recent, 10
probably
years?
in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a YouTube video. It was like still the same thing. It was like, you know, they were recording videos to put on the internet, you know, and it was just it turned out wrong, and they you know, caused an accident that killed a bunch of people. Yeah, so they were just like, yeah, no, we need to register people at this point, and that's where, you know, Civil War became what it was. It's a very interesting run if you ever have time, which you don't have much of that, but I mean,
I
was gonna say you don't have much time, but if you ever have time and you're like, hey, I want to read something, read the first Civil War. There's 2 different Civil War runs now. Read the first Civil War. It's a very interesting story.
Okay.
It's very different from the movies, but still the same in the same vein.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am proud that I've been reading. I read all the 4 editions of X-Men 97 that bridged the gap between the final episode of the original and the first episode of 97. And now I just started reading the X-Men 97 season 2. I think there's only 1 issue so far.
I think there's only one, yeah.
Only 1, right? So
Yeah.
I'm reading that now.
That's awesome, man. So how much collaboration was there between directors and finding Roberto's personality? Because there has been a massive growth from the first season to the second season. He was a little more quiet, a little more meek in the first season. Is more because he was just kind of finding his way, just got his powers, doesn't know what to do. Second season, he's not as arrogant as he is in the comics, but he's getting very brash. He's getting out there a little bit more, which you can kind of see he's leading into becoming that arrogant character. But like, how much leeway did you have with the writing team, Bodemayo, and the directors to kind of form that personality?
So first, I always like to say, like, first session, they were so wonderful to make me feel so comfortable and confident by telling me, look, this is you, like, this is your character. We are here for you. It meant the world to me. I was super nervous. You know, Marvel, this is a big series, all of that. I'd never done something at this scale. And so that was crucial for me to feel like confident. Then the biggest like collaboration really was in terms of, you know, all the Brazilian dialect and stuff and words and whatnot. They were so open for anything that I had to say in regards to that. And then we worked. It's like I started doing voicing Roberto with a much thicker Brazilian accent. and then they kept asking me to tone it down because the Brazilian accent can be very not so fun for the American ear.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, especially considering it's meant to be a kid show, even though it's got very adult subjects, but it's still meant to be a kid show, and kids hearing that accent and not knowing the accent, that Brazilian accent can be a little harsh sometimes.
Yeah. And I can only do. I mean, I guess for some people say, look, if they meet me quickly and I'm not like coming from like listening or speaking too much, either Portuguese or Spanish, they might, oh wow, I didn't realize you were not American. And then there's other people like that will quickly hear something like, oh, you've been here for a long time, but you're not fully American. So it depends. But I try to do a Brazilian accent, and so the only way I can do that is by making it very thick.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I kept toning it down, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna speak the way I speak. Maybe here and there I'll change a couple little consonants and whatnot. And so you hear more of that in season 1, and then from season 2 onwards, I'm like, I'm not gonna add too much.
Yeah.
He's been already, whatever. I mean, he had been in the States. We don't know. Like it'll work anyway, and I'll have still my Brazilian words there.
Yeah. I 100% picked that up. I noticed his accent was way thicker in the first season.
Then this one.
Then this season, he sounds like you. It's very, very like it's there, but it's also not there. So it's like.
So I feel like it works in what you just said. Like not a lot of time has passed, but it's like he's more integrated. He's more like part of the team now. Like there's growth that has happened.
Right.
And look, he's a superhuman. And he speaks 4 different languages. That's one thing. Like he's very quick, just like I can be. So I'm like, what? Let's just lean into that,
Right.
So when people ask, because obviously you're not going to get from the show, but if you ask me, there's a justification behind it,
Right.
But I did notice that a lot, and that's why like I didn't go too much more into the comic book reading, because for me always the king and queen is the script in front of you, right? And because in the script he was not portrayed so much with that arrogance that you see so much in the comics, right? It was different, even from season 1. You're noticing something like even a little bit. He's going more towards that now.
Yeah, you see the character growth, because, like I said, he was very quiet, meek, kind of more like I'm afraid and I don't know what to do in the first season. And in the beginning of this season, he's a little more brash. He's a little more, willing to jump into the fire. And you kind of see him getting there. Like I see him getting there to a point where he'll be like Firestarter arrogant at some point. Like if you remember Firestarter, he was very arrogant, like I'm better than everybody kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
but I feel like the comics, he has more of that.
Yeah.
And I feel, I mean, people have told me, which I appreciate so much, but it's not like I put that spin of him not being so much like that, or maybe being more, as we say, quote unquote, likable or sweet or whatever. But that's embedded in the writing, right?
Yeah.
So. I'm happy to hear that, because it goes maybe more in a line to my personal self. But if it was supposed to be the other version, I would be more than happy to do that too.
Yeah.
And maybe the evolution continues to be that maybe he starts to go more towards that direction. I don't know.
I would like that. Like as a fan, I would like to see him kind of go down that rabbit hole.
And we all know, for comic book readers, that he can get dark.
He can get very dark.
He can get very dark.
He can get like almost Wolverine level, like one bad day away from being the bad guy kind of thing.
And he's one of the super powerful mutants, right?
Yeah.
At one level, I think
he's alpha level.
He used to be Omega at one point, right?
In the comics, he ends up becoming Omega level. Yeah,
Omega.
But like generally in the comics, he's usually about alpha level on his strength, and it's because, I mean, it seems like he has control over fire and things like that, but in reality he can control entire forces of gravity. So it's like he is he's in the wrong hands, he could be very problematic.
And we know that happens a lot in the comics later on. So hey, let's expect, let's hope and ask for at least 10 seasons, so maybe we can get there.
Exactly, right? So before I get into some rapid fire questions here, because I told you yesterday I wanted to make sure I got through some of these rapid fire questions.
Yes, I love
Is there
those.
anybody in the audience that has any questions? Please, Jeff, up here front.
So this is from my son. What was it like to come into a show you grew up watching and working with those you watched growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying it was a dream I never dreamt, because I never thought I was going to be a voice actor or be in a show like this. And like I said, it wasn't intentional that I wanted to become part of this. But like I've said before, I grew up with a show I loved, maybe one of the very first superheroes that I was really into. So it's a dream. It's been so surreal, and now I get to meet so many passionate people. How old is your son? 26? Okay, they're young. Oh, what's his name? Tyson. Thanks for the question. Yeah, no, it's been superb. And I also, like I said before, I didn't grow up listening to the American voices because I grew up in Brazil and it was all dubbed, but it doesn't matter. It's a show that I loved so much, characters that I loved so much, and now I get to represent my country in Latin America and be part of this. I'm extremely grateful and so honored. So thank you for asking.
All right, over here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so when you said that prior to landing the role in X-Men, and yet you had no idea like who he was or anything about the fandom, which kind of reminded me of like when Charlie Cox got the role of Daredevil and how he said that he didn't know anything about him until like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was just wondering like now like and then like what you shared about like being allowed to like put a part of yourself into like the role. Do you feel especially like protective of like the character himself and like like see something in him that like is particularly like close to you, like close heart to you?
Yeah, no. So I mean, thanks for sharing that. I did not know that about Charlie Cox, so I feel better now. No, but
and I mean that. Here's the thing: is like to add on to that, right? There's a lot of things that came from the X-Men animated series that ended up becoming things in the comics, right? Morph, yeah, like Morph was a
really?
character created for X-Men.
Yes,
for
yes.
X-Men the animated
Yes.
series, and now he is a massive character in the background.
comics.
In the comics, right? It's the same thing with Harley Quinn and Batman. Harley Quinn was created for the TV show.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
she became a comic book character, and now
Oh,
she's
wow.
massive, right? So like, there's a lot of things like that within this animated series. So knowing the kind of what he was saying is the influence that you have on the character could be something that influences the character moving forward in the comics as well.
I mean, that would continue to be like something I'd be extremely proud of. But you know, he has already so much history, and like you said, he becomes so major player in the comics, right?
Yeah.
And in many of the editions and whatnot. But yeah, I feel very protective of him now, and again, super lucky to have had this opportunity, and I hope it goes, you know, a really long way, and that he doesn't die, because
Right.
who knows?
Writers are writers.
Yeah, and it's okay, you know. It's all about the story. But yeah, I just really hope that I continue to, you know, make him, you know, justice, and you know, put forth my best work, and that the fans continue to appreciate him, and then yeah. But now I know so much more, and I'll continue to learn as much as I possibly can, so that never happens to me again, you know.
Right. All right. So we're basically up on time, but I want to play
Wow,
this
it
game with
flies
you.
by.
I know it really does. But I want to play this game with you, right? Because
Okay.
we talked about it yesterday, and I don't want to skip out on this.
I am
We have to
bad
play
at this game sometimes, guys, but I'll try.
So we're gonna do two different versions of this.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna do a general question one right now. Rapid fire, no overthinking. Whatever comes first to mind. Okay.
Okay.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Surfing or snowboarding?
Snowboarding.
Tennis singles or doubles?
Singles.
Acting or directing?
Acting.
Favorite X-Man?
Sunspot.
Favorite mutant power?
Teletransporting.
Ooh, all right. Favorite Brazilian food?
Wow. Damn. Why am I? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Pão de queijo.
Ooh, okay.
It's a cheese ball, but yeah.
Yeah. If you guys ever get a chance to try it, it's delicious. Lightsaber color?
Red.
Ooh, dark side. Okay.
I love red.
Favorite guilty pleasure movie?
Guilty pleasure movie. Dude, where's my car?
Nice. Favorite song to play on the guitar?
If it's acoustic, I'd say Time of Your Life by Green Day.
That's one of my go-tos.
Oh wow!
Every time I pick up the guitar, it's like one of my go-tos.
Right?
Yeah.
And if it's electric, Basket Case by Green Day.
Yeah. I'm a big Green Day guy too.
I'm obsessed.
Also because Green Day's easy to play. But I mean,
That too.
either that or a lot of System of a Down.
Oh wow, that's
play a lot of
really
System.
hard. That's oh my god, you were like big difference there. I
Tell
only know 2 songs because they're really big in Brazil in the 2000s or whatever.
Mhm.
And then a friend of mine that I've been jamming with a lot, and he has a band now who is going to be playing at San Diego Comic-Con. I'll be singing with them 2 Green Day songs during their set.
Nice.
They're playing a System of a Down song, and then I was with him recently, and he was like, "Oh, do you know this song? Do you know that song?" I'm like, I don't know any of those songs. I only know those Chop Suey. You guys call it
Chop Suey.
And then I didn't know it was called Toxicity, but that's the only one that I know.
Yeah. Listen to their entire their entire catalog. If you like those 2 songs, but like listen to their entire catalog. They are the most punk metal band.
They
they're
mix a
very
lot.
punk rock, but they're metal.
Yeah,
so
they're metal,
yeah. All right. Teleportation or flight?
Teleportation.
I asked this yesterday. Live action or animation?
Live action.
An Oscar or an Emmy?
An Oscar.
Yeah. Movie villain or TV hero?
Movie villain.
Would you rather fight 1 Sentinel or 50 Doombots?
1 Sentinel.
Okay. What's one misconception people have about voice acting?
That is easy.
Yeah.
And that is just with a voice.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not just the voice. All right. So we're going to play a game here called Nerd X Games.
Oh,
Okay. Who is most likely to?
Uh-huh.
Right. So you're going to give me.
But you're going to give me options.
No.
Oh, my God. No, I will need help here. I'm so bad at this stuff. Okay.
Who's most likely to forget where they parked the Blackbird?
Oh, my
It's Morph. It's going to be Morph.
No, I don't know. The Blackbird. Oh, my God. Sunspot.
Sunspot. Who's
Partying too much the night before, so he doesn't remember.
Well, I mean, Brazilian. So.
There you go.
Who is most likely to accidentally destroy the X Mansion?
Sunspot as well.
Who's most likely to beat everyone in Mario Kart?
Jubilee.
I was gonna say it's gonna be Jubilee. Jubilee's like the gamer of the group. Who is most likely to spend way too much money at a Comic-Con?
Who spends money? Jubilee.
Jubilee. Well, I mean, technically you're rich,
Yeah, I know, but I give her the money. She spends it.
right? And then we're gonna do a superhero tennis tournament.
Oh, wow.
All right. You have to coach one of these Marvel heroes to win Wimbledon. Who wins? So I'm gonna give you 4 options.
Love it.
Okay. You get to pick of these 4 people.
Who I would coach to win.
If you were the coach,
Yeah.
who would win Wimbledon? Okay.
It just happened, by the way.
I know.
Final was today. Sinner beat Zverev.
Wolverine, Spider-Man, Captain America, or Gambit?
Wolverine, Captain America,
Spider-Man or Gambit? There's 2 that come to mind for me of these guys.
Captain America. Wait, no, yeah, Spider-Man definitely. So he said Wolverine, Captain America, and then what's the other one?
Gambit.
Gambit. No, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I was gonna say Gambit blows up the ball.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but then you're not gonna win.
Wolverine gets pissed off and cuts everything apart.
He's gonna do this when he's gonna
Right.
cut the ball. It's not gonna work.
And then I was gonna say it's between Spider-Man and Captain America.
Yeah, but
Spider-Man has a lot of
it's agility. I mean,
his agility,
Yeah, it's gonna be.
but also Captain America has super agility as well.
Okay.
And he
well,
also one of
fair.
his powers is that he
I thought about blocking the ball. You know, they can hit him with like a 135, 150 mile per hour serve, and he's just
yeah.
no big deal, but-
One of Captain America's powers is he has a tactical mind. So one, he knows exactly where to hit the ball, but then also
advanced, kind of like
he just by seeing the direction of where the racket is, he knows exactly where the ball's going to be. Right.
Okay, so then that would be the right.
One of his powers also,
Right
when you see
answer.
Captain America, the reason he throws a shield anywhere and you see it always come back to him is because he knows where to bounce it so that it bounces other places to hit him again.
Yeah, see, I didn't know the specifics of his powers.
So that's what I was saying. That's one of Captain America's things. That's why I think Captain America ends up being the winner on that.
No, it would be definitely the winner
because
But-
he can tactically outthink
Oh no,
his
absolutely.
opponent.
All those powers and stuff, it would definitely be it. But I still choose Spider-Man because I like Spider-Man better.
Hey, it's your choice, man. So, so I'm going to ask you the hardest question you've ever been asked in your life. These are my wrap-up questions. Okay. What is what is your favorite kind of taco?
Now it's carnitas.
Yeah, I like it.
Switched. I'm obsessed with carnitas.
What was
now.
it before?
Steak. Carne asada.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a correct answer to this question.
Oh, birria.
It's not birria.
Okay.
Because most birria you get is not actual birria. Real birria is goat.
Oh, okay.
Right. Most places you go, it's gonna be beef, but
Yeah.
birria, real traditional birria is goat.
Oh wow, I didn't know
De
that.
cabra.
What is
The correct answer is al pastor.
Al pastor. ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué? Because al pastor is basically our litmus test for any restaurant. If the al pastor is good in any restaurant,
Oh, really?
everything in that restaurant's going to be good. The other one is going to be...
See, but I barely eat al pastor. I started recently too, but I just don't like the pineapple. People have asked me, pineapple, no pineapple. Did you ask me that?
No, I
No.
didn't.
Who said that? I don't know, but I just don't like fruits on savory stuff. So
Gotcha. The other one is mole. So if the mole is good in the restaurant, it's usually
mole,
gonna be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've not eaten a lot of mole
Yeah.
in my life, but okay, fair
That's
enough.
more Mexican, but I mean
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Who wins in a fight? Sunspot versus anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Sunspot.
Sunspot. That's the reason I asked that. All right. And then finally, what actually hold on. There's something here that I don't have written that I need to make sure I put in here. Right there. So what's next for you that fans should be excited about, man? Anything that is not under NDA that you can talk about that won't get you in trouble?
Not in this space in particular. Other than I've become part of a really big video game that I can't say and share what it is. It's
Okay.
not a big role, so hopefully it'll be there sometime this year or next year. I mean the role will still be there, because who knows? Just maybe like TV, you sometimes can get cut.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very massive game.
That's the Wolverine video game? No, I'm kidding.
And I really hope that they bring Sunspot to Marvel Rivals. So that is
Yeah.
a campaign, and I'm trying to launch to have
That would
him
be
in there.
cool.
And obviously, I'd be so honored to be able to voice him as well. But if not, it's fine too. But let's get him on, in the Rivals. And then one of my latest short film that's called West Texas Home. It was shot in California, but it's a Texas story.
Okay.
It just got into a really prestigious festival, not Oscar qualifying, which we've been going for the last 6 months, but it's called Out South in North Carolina, and it premieres August 13th. And so I'm really excited to have that happen, finally after 2.5 years or so.
Okay. Awesome, man. And then finally, where can everybody follow you, support your work, and keep up with what you're doing? Anything that you put out there? What social media? Any plugs that you want to put out?
Instagram, as I'm doing an Instagram Live. Follow me at Gui Agustini 1. That's where I put all my updates, all my journey as an actor. I have TikTok and Twitter, or X, but I don't use it really. So yeah, that's where you can keep up with all my stuff.
All right. Well, Gui, muito obrigado.
De nada. Obrigado a vocês. Obrigado a todos vocês. Obrigado a você.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Okay. For spending part of your weekend with us. It's been incredible hearing about your journey from Brazil to Hollywood, from tennis courts to film sets, and now the Marvel Universe. We can't wait to see where your career takes you next, because we are following. And thank you for all that for everybody here joining us here at Silver Age Comic Con. If you enjoyed today's panel, guys, if you enjoyed what we were doing here, be sure to stop by and say hi to Guy. Let him know how much you enjoyed the work and everything that we've got going on. Make sure you get a picture. Get a handshake.
Do it.
Get some
There's
pictures.
a couple more hours left.
Exactly, right? Go get an autograph. Go get it right now. Let's hear it one more time for Gui Agustini.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. That is so nice. Thank you, man.